Predator: Death Planet has been raising eyebrows since the day it was announced, and not because of its stellar marketing. People are still arguing about whether making the villain of the series the actual main character was a galaxy brain move or just cinematic self-sabotage. We've already seen the movie, so let's talk about it without spoilers for the next few minutes. Meanwhile, drop a comment below and let me know what you thought of it, if you've already survived the experience. Oh, and stick around till the end, because we'll also talk about how this film somehow connects to Stranger Things. Yeah, I know how that sounds, but bear with me, it's real. Now, here's something wild. Death Planet has landed in the top 3 highest rated Predator movies in the entire franchise, which, considering the competition, is actually kind of impressive. But before you pop the champagne, that ranking comes from critics, and we all know that Rotten Tomatoes sometimes feels more like Rotten Logic. The only titles ranked higher are Prey and Predator Anthology Killer of Killers. Funny enough, all 3 of those projects were directed by or involved Dan Trachtenberg, the guy who seems to be slowly turning the Predator franchise into his personal sci-fi playground. But before we start praising him like he's the messiah of monster movies, let's be real, praise split the fandom right down the middle. So calling Death Planet a success already might be pretty mature. As of now, early audience reactions are glowingly positive, but keep in mind, we're literally 1 day in. Give it a week, and we'll see if the hype holds or crashes harder than a CGI spaceship. Financially, the movie's performing okay-ish, roughly ballerina level grace on a $100 million budget. It's not tanking, but it's definitely not breaking any records either. And here's the big twist. If the original Predator movies were R-rated testosterone carnivals, this one is a PG-13 blockbuster special, meaning no gore, no spinal extractions, no buckets of blood. Basically, Predator went from murderous space hunter to Disney Plus guest star. But, and it's a big but, there's a catch. There's actually a reason why there isn't a single human character in the movie. The director himself explained it in a recent interview. And yeah, it kind of makes sense once you hear it. So here's the thing. Giving Predator: Death Planet a teen rating was a purely business move. It opens up the audience, boosts the box office, and makes the studio execs high-five each other over spreadsheets. The problem? Predator movies are usually about a 7-foot space hunter collecting skulls like Funko Pops. Not exactly family-friendly vibes, but here's the loophole. The no blood, no guts rule only applies to humans. And guess what? There are no humans in this movie. From the trailer alone, it was clear that the planet was populated entirely by synthetics, alien fauna, and our boy Yautja himself. So if you were worried this would be some kind of Saturday morning cartoon, relax. There's still plenty of carnage, it's just less human. As for the movie itself, critics weren't lying. The director managed to deliver a slick, futuristic action flick with tons of combat, a few genuinely funny moments, and a plot simple enough to summarize in a tweet. It's not trying to be the next cinematic revolution, but it does its job. Now, from the trailers alone, it was clear this isn't the same Predator we grew up fearing. This isn't the ruthless jungle stalker with a trophy room full of skulls. This time, the ultimate killer becomes the main character, and that's a bold move, either genius or complete disaster. Predictably, fans are split. Some were already boycotting the movie before release because they hated the idea of humanizing the alien. But the new protagonist, Deck, is surprisingly easy to root for. You actually get his motivation to hunt down the alpha predator and reclaim his honor. That emotional angle completely flips how we see Yautja as a species. The movie even gives a glimpse into their clan hierarchy, touches on family bonds, or lack thereof, shows off shiny new weapons, a brutal new planet, and teases a potential crossover. And yeah, compared to this, Prey suddenly looks like a franchise high point. Death Planet turns Predator into an outcast, wandering through space trying to prove himself worthy of his clan, while teaming up with the Weyland-Yutani android and other alien species. The plot? You can pretty much see where it's heading by minute 20, but honestly, that's fine. The trailer already spoiled half of it anyway. The main mystery was whether the ultimate predator teased in promos was actually the big bad, or if it was just clever misdirection leading to a xenomorph twist. No spoilers here, but let's just say Weyland-Yutani's presence is very noticeable. And that upcoming crossover everyone's buzzing about, it actually explains why Yautja is the main hero here. Think about it. The aliens are mindless, perfect killing machines. They're terrifying, but they're not exactly known for emotional depth. The predators, on the other hand, have honor, culture, and an actual sense of pride. So in an alien versus predator showdown, the audience naturally sides with the hunter. Smart move, honestly. Gotta give the director credit too. The film doesn't fall into the Marvel-style quit factory tap. There's humor, but it's natural, not cringe-level Predator 2018 nonsense. The jokes land, fit the story, and don't make you want to teleport out of the theater. Action-wise, solid. Nothing groundbreaking, but satisfying enough. You'll enjoy it while it's on, but once you leave the cinema, odds are you won't remember a single fight beat. It's like movie fast food. Tastes good, gone instantly. Visually, Death Planet looks surprisingly solid. The CGI doesn't stab your eyes or make you question the VFX team's life choices. The alien world feels alive, different terrains, distinct biomes, and plenty of nasty local predators who apparently treat cannibalism like a team sport. The acting, honestly, no complaints there either. Elle Fanning absolutely carries the movie. She's in nearly every scene and nails it. Fun fact, she plays two completely different characters and both feel distinct enough that you'll occasionally double check the credits. Credit where it's due, not just to the makeup team, but to Fanning herself, who clearly decided this role wasn't going to be another space damsel gig. As for Yautja, our dear predator boy, he's way more humanized this time. You don't exactly feel terrified of him like before. Instead, he's kind of a rookie, emotional, expressive, and even cracks a few jokes. Yeah, you read that right. Predator makes jokes now. Whether that's cool or a war crime against the franchise depends on how allergic you are to change. Sometimes it works. Other times it feels like you've just seen Darth Vader try stand-up. One cool touch, we finally hear more of the Yautja language. And thankfully, they didn't dub it or turn it into perfect English. We get subtitles instead, which keeps that alien mystique intact. Because let's be real, if Dex started chatting fluently in English, it would nuke the entire vibe faster than you can say Predator 2018. Now, if you're a casual viewer who just stumbled into the theater with zero context, you'll probably love Death Planet. It's flashy, fast, and full of weird alien energy. But if you're a longtime fan of the franchise, you might feel a bit disconnected. The movie clearly tries to woo a new audience rather than cater to the old guard. It gives us new lore, shows the internal culture of the Predators, but in doing so, it kind of rewrites what made them terrifying in the first place. Interestingly enough, this bold idea actually got a thumbs up from James Cameron himself. He said the creative risk might just pay off. After all, he pulled a similar move back in the 80s when he turned the original Terminator villain into the hero of the sequel, and that gamble gave us an icon. Cameron even praised the final cut of Death Planet, saying Trachtenberg pulled it off. Whether that same magic trick works for Predator though, still up for debate. As of now, the franchise's future feels like it's hanging by a thread. Even the studio seems unsure if this whole sympathetic Predator experiment will actually land or just quietly vanish into the cinematic jungle. Even though Death Planet ends with a not-so-subtle wink at a sequel, the studios decided to hit pause and see how much audiences actually vibe with Trachtenberg's new direction. So far, there's no official announcement about a follow-up. Everything depends on how much money this alien roller coaster pulls in. Still, I'd say it's worth watching Death Planet just to make up your own mind. Do you like the softer, emotionally complex version of Yautja, or do you think the studio just walked face first into the wrong wormhole? Alright, spoiler time for those who've already seen it and aren't afraid of ruining the fun. Let's talk about the xenomorph question, because come on, we were all waiting for it. Despite Trachtenberg swearing up and down that there wouldn't be a crossover, the hope refused to die. The story structure practically begged for one, laying out the setup like a neon-lit runway for an alien cameo. The hints and subtle nods to the alien universe were honestly more exciting than the whole revenge and redemption arc. But hey, it is what it is. Instead of xenomorph chaos, we got a teaser pointing toward Dex's mother becoming the next big threat. Turns out Dex's newly formed clan, consisting of Tia and their adopted alien team, challenges the traditional Yautja hierarchy. So now Dex on everyone's hit list, including his own mom, who's likely to be the antagonist in the sequel. And of course, Weyland-Yutani is still in the picture, mad as ever that they didn't get their shiny new bioweapon sample. Dex got it, they want it, and that's basically a recipe for another interstellar brawl. Death Planet clearly sets up the stage for a sequel, one that could either be another space road movie or a full-scale Predator vs. Earth war. Trachtenberg himself said he's got big plans to expand the franchise. Both were returning characters and completely new ones. Fun trivia, he originally wanted to make a Prey sequel focused on Naru, but the studio pushed for a new setting instead. So there's still a chance we'll see her again somewhere down the line. Oh, and here's the neat behind-the-scenes nugget. Trachtenberg was actually supposed to direct an episode of Stranger Things Season 5, Episode 3 to be exact, but since Death Planet and Stranger Things were filming around the same time, his schedule imploded faster than a Predator self-destruct device. Trachtenberg didn't waste his chance to team up with the Duffer Brothers either. Yet, the Stranger Things guys, he somehow convinced them to record a few Yautja language voice lines, which ended up in the movie. So when you hear those eerie commands coming from Deadshot's ship, surprise, that's the Duffer speaking fluent alien gibberish. A nice little Easter egg for the observant nerds among us. And that's Predator Death Planet in a nutshell. Bold, weird, and guaranteed to keep fans arguing on Reddit until the heat death of the universe. Whether you think Trachtenberg reinvented the franchise or just gave Predator a midlife crisis, one thing's for sure, it's different. So, what did you think? Did the movie win you over, or do you think it's time the studio handed the franchise keys to someone else for a spin?